Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today let's talk about one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. It's F.E.A.R. from 2005. It's been 16 years since it's released, and F.E.A.R. is a horror-themed first-person shooter with a story about a rogue commander that takes charge of an army of clone super soldiers. F.E.A.R. has a lot of supernatural things going on that serve mainly as a reason to mass murder all these clone soldiers. It looks somewhat dated and rough around the edges, especially the characters, and the rooms are scarcely decorated. Talking about rooms, the levels of F.E.A.R. are not very remarkable. Gameplay-wise, this is still very much a linear corridor shooter, again with very little decoration in the levels, but considering that this is from 2005, well, what can you expect? Still, most of the levels take place in sort of industrial-looking places and offices, so it's kind of boring, these levels. And you kind of follow this set path, this linear path that's been set out for you, climbing an occasional ladder, turning a valve, that sort of thing along the way. To mix things up, though, now and again there's a brief jump scare and some cutscenes that sort of kick in some horror themes, you know, and there's some good use of light sources, light and darkness. Again, that's very fitting to the horror theme of this game. These cutscenes and the horror-themed jump scares sort of serve as a distraction from the somewhat bland surroundings, I have to say, that you'll be fighting your way through. Now, the main attraction here is the shooting, which holds up still after 16 years. You get a good selection of weapons that sound great, feel meaty, and the shooting is designed in a way that it is very inaccurate, with no aiming down sights. You'll just be spreading bullets because of the recoil, and you are really in a disadvantage here because of the enemies that shoot very accurate and act real smart. I mean, this game has some of the smartest AI, maybe the smartest AI of the soldiers I've ever seen in any game. They will be taking cover, they will try and circle you, they will throw grenades right in your face if they have to. They will run away, so spread out when you throw a grenade. There are always more enemies than you expect in a level. And again, you know, the AI is just still brilliant. You know, I've not seen better AI. Maybe you have seen better AI in other games, but I've not seen it other than in games like Half-Life 2 maybe, or 1, and Unreal Tournament, the bots there. But other than that, F.E.A.R. has the best AI. So yeah, the shooting is in your disadvantage, but by a press of a button you can turn the tide of combat in a way in your favor as you trigger this slow-mo effect, this feature where everything around you slows down and you can shoot all these enemies right into their faces, and you just don't see that in other games. Only in Max Payne and Control more recently. Those games come to mind when you play F.E.A.R. and they're both Remedy games, by the way, but you know, I don't see a lot of games that take advantage of this feature, and it's weird because it is super clever. It's extremely cinematic, as you'll see sparks fly everywhere, debris, and it's just pure chaos and carnage. It's just crazy, and there's some mods out there that sort of enhance that effect, and it's really brilliant. And as I said, F.E.A.R. is just great because of the shooting and the slow-mo, and that makes it the #2 shooter in my book. You know, Stalker's still the best, I think, but it's just so good. Still, if you're really honest, then the game does become a little stale after so many hours. Maybe it overstays its welcome a bit because, you know, it doesn't really change things. It's still shooting, sort of a one-trick pony. I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, but it's just sort of mind-numbing after a while. As you go into a new room, it's like, oh, okay, here comes the enemies, and you slow down time, start shooting, and you do it again. What's great also is that you can download a free client for the multiplayer. So if you get bored of the solo player portion of the game, there's a free client. I'll post a link in the description below. It's really frantic. It's awesome if you're itching for that sort of close quarters combat. That's it for me. That's what I think of Fear. Let me know what you think. Leave comments, subscribe, and see you in the next video.